This is the Accenture Insurance Influencers podcast.
Hello, I'm your host, Igrani Yu. Welcome to the Accenture Insurance Influencers podcast, where we interview some of the insurance industry's biggest thinkers. What trends are on their radar? Where do they see the opportunities and challenges for the industry? In a couple of weeks, we'll be releasing 3 full-length episodes with Ryan Stein.
My name is Ryan Stein. I'm the Executive Director of Auto Insurance Policy and Innovation at Insurance Bureau of Canada.
We'll be talking about self-driving cars and what they mean for insurers and consumers. I asked all of my guests the same 4 questions, which I call the quick-fire questions. First one I asked, what's the biggest challenge facing insurers today?
It's adapting to meet the changing needs of consumers.
Okay. What's the biggest opportunity facing them today?
Meeting the needs and those changing needs of consumers.
Fair enough. What trends do you think should be on insurers' radar right now?
Changes in mobility trends, how people are getting around. Are people still using their car? Are they using ride sharing? How will that all change with vehicle electrification and vehicle automation? How people get around, do they own cars? That all affects whether they buy insurance, auto insurance.
And what technology or maybe combination of technologies do you think will have the greatest effect on the industry in, say, the next 10, 15 years?
When automation meets sharing. So when ride sharing involves automated vehicles, that'll change the price point for ride sharing and could really change how people get from point A to point B.
Perfect. Thank you very much for making the time to speak to us. This was a really interesting conversation.
It was my pleasure.
Check back in a couple of weeks for 3 full-length episodes with Ryan. We'll be talking about why self-driving cars don't fit into today's auto insurance laws, why it's so important for insurers to proactively make changes, as well as the challenges and opportunities that self-driving cars create. In the meantime, you can hear how my other guests answered the quick-fire questions. And if you like what you hear, you could click that subscribe button. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Accenture Insurance Influencers podcast with your host, Igrani Yu. To learn more, visit accenture.com/insuраnceinfluencers.